Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. I'm your host Remon Azab, aka Remon with TeamSkunk. I'm coming at you today with another character review. This time we're going to be reviewing the infamous General Grievous of the droid faction. What we're going to do is we're going to go over his abilities, then we're going to take a look at where you can get him. I'm going to go over the mods that I've equipped on him and why I have, and then we're going to take him into the trenches, into battle, and we'll go ahead and see the droid team in action. So first and foremost, let's pull up swgoh.gg where I have General Grievous on the screen here. General Grievous is a brutal attacker that cuts down defensive enemies while protecting himself with forced ally taunts. Although he hates to be called a droid, he counts as one in combat. Now, Grievous, 97 speed, is a very low speed character at base, but I happen to have sped up my Grievous quite significantly, and we'll go over that in a little bit here. Going over his abilities, his basic ability, Furious Assault, deal physical damage to a target enemy. This attack can't be evaded or countered, which is great because, you know, when you're facing those counter-attacking enemies like Count Dooku, Fives, Ayla Secura, characters like that, you know, it's great to have an ability that can't be countered. Now, his attack on all, or AoE ability, is Grievous Wounds. Deal physical damage to all enemies with a 65% chance to inflict healing immunity for one turn. And then he has a turn meter reduction ability called Sinister Laugh, where General Grievous inflicts health down on all enemies for 2 turns with a 55% chance to remove 30% turn meter. This chance is doubled against Jedi enemies. So if it's against Jedi, it's a 110% chance to reduce turn meter, which is really cool. Now, Daunting Presence is General Grievous' leader ability. All enemies have a negative 20% critical chance and negative 20% critical damage. It's kind of an interesting leader ability because I don't really see much viability for it, but being that there's a lot of critical chance and critical damage going on now with all these Lando teams and all these, you know, high damage, high crit damage teams right now, something to think about maybe. Not sure if it would work, but just a thought. But anyway, his unique ability is really cool. Grievous has plus 10% max health for each living droid ally. In addition, whenever Grievous falls below 50% health, he will dispel all negative status effects on himself and force a random ally to taunt for 1 turn if no ally is currently taunting for him. If he does, that ally also gains 100% turn meter. So basically, if Grievous falls below 50% health, another ally taunts, which is great because it just takes the attention away from him, so you can possibly get a heal on him from Jawa Engineer. He's just a great overall character. Now that mods have come out, you can make some adjustments to him to make him viable. When Grievous initially came out, there was a lot of clamoring about how he wasn't really a viable character, and being that he's such a hard character to attain and such a, you know, a popular character, people would want him to be, you know, a little bit more of a viable character. But I have to tell you, I've been using him in Arena for months now, and I have had a lot of success. So he is great with mods and great with the droid faction and this whole droid synergy that's going on. Now, Grievous can only be attained in one location, and that's the shard shop. And he is very, very hard to get. It takes a long time to get all the shards that you need to get to actually unlock this character, and then even further to get him to 7 stars. Let's go over into the cantina and we'll take a look at that. Now, General Grievous, if you can see here on the right hand side, you can get 30 General Grievous shards for 6,750 shard shop currency. What that basically equates to is 11 purchases to get General Grievous to 7 stars. Okay, so 11 times 30 would give you 330 shards. To get those 330 shards in shard shop currency, it would take you real life shards 4,950 shards to get the shard shop currency necessary to buy those 330 shards. It would take you 990 purchases of shipments to get that shard shop currency. So for example, if you went into the Galactic War shipments or the Arena shipments, let's say for example you're done farming characters out of Galactic War shipments, if you were to, from today, start purchasing Galactic War shipments for characters that already have 7 stars, it would take you 990 purchases to get the shards to get General Grievous. So it takes time to do this. I do think, though, that there are quite a few people that have finished farming their characters out of Galactic War shipments now. For some of those people that have started playing, let's say, in November or December servers, those guys do, at this point, in some cases, have all their characters farmed already. So they are starting to put shards in the shard shop to start getting Grievous. In some cases, people have already gotten Grievous because they've been farming him for quite some time now, in addition with maybe some extra shard currency that they got from chromium packs that they've pulled. However the shards have been collected, Grievous is a character to attain at some point, kind of like Darth Vader. He's a character that you want to long-term get in the game, and you know, I'd have to say that Grievous is definitely worth it if you're running a droid team. So if you're going to go into the droid world where you're going to be running a Jawa engineer and HK-47 lead, General Grievous is definitely a great piece to add to that team, and he works great with that synergy. Now let's go ahead and take a look at my General Grievous in my character section here, and we'll go over his mods. Now, General Grievous's mods, what I've selected to go with was health and speed sets. Now, the reason for that was initially when mods came out, I only had access at first for the first couple of weeks to the speed sets because I had my resistance team up and I was able to complete that resistance challenge to get the speed sets. I also wanted speed sets for the droid team for a specific reason, and I'll go over that here in a moment. But let's go over the mods here. So his offense mod, which is the square mod here, is a speed transmitter, and it's got 9 speed as a secondary stat, 25 offense as a solid number. Anytime you get a solid number of offense on a mod, that's always great. 25 offense is kind of on the low end. You know, you're always a little bit better if you get, you know, I've seen mods in the hundreds, so you get like 100 or 107 offense. That's always great. That can really add a lot of damage to the character. But the main important stat here is that 9 speed. Okay, now I have a speed arrow, so a speed receiver that has a primary speed stat. And again, there's a 35 offense number on the bottom there. The triangle mod here is also a speed set mod that has a 36% critical damage primary and 3 speed underneath it. Then we have a health mod here for the cross mod, and that is another offense mod. And for the circle mod, I've chosen to go with protection. I personally believe protection is a more valuable stat to you than the health percentage, so I go with the 23% protection. 11 speed is also a great secondary speed stat, and this is my highest secondary speed stat, which is plus 17 speed on my defense mod here, which is great because you're going to have to equip a defense stat no matter what there's just no other choice. But again, 36 offense. So if you look at my General Grievous statistics here on the right hand side, he is at a 180 speed. From his 97 speed, that is an 83 speed increase to his stats. That's excellent. Okay, then he also has 186% critical damage, and his physical critical chance is 38.13%. And if you look at his physical damage, which is 2882, that's significantly high. So what you want is a lot of damage out of General Grievous, especially from his basic when he gets called in for an assist. And 2882 is a really good number to be at. So that's definitely been, you know, increased significantly by mods. So just, you know, overall, you know, not the most HP in the game. Again, you know, with a combined 29K health and protection, he's not going to, you know, be one of the longer lasting characters in the match. So he's one of those characters that you want to be fast, or as fast as possible, so you can come in and do his DPS and you can get him out of there. Now, I've chosen to go with speed for a specific reason. The speed, I believe, helps the droids significantly because droids are susceptible to stuns, so they get stunned quite frequently by Royal Guards or Aayla Secura or Palpatine now that he's made an appearance in Arena. And when you're getting stunned, the only way to get out of it is to get turn meter to get out of that stun. So the faster you are, the faster you're going to get out of the stun. And since the droids are so susceptible to the stuns, you want them to be as fast as possible, especially if you're facing against, let's say, a Fives, a Phasma, or an Old Ben that inflicts speed down on you. It's going to take even longer, so you just want to be as fast as possible to get out of those stuns so you can go ahead and start attacking again. So now let's go into the arena here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out the droid team. We're going to dust them off for a battle here. Now, I'm currently running the variation of the Wigs or Danger Zone team right now, but I often switch back and forth between them and my droid team. So I'm going to run an HK-47 leader here with our character of the day, General Grievous. We're going to run the B2 Super Battle Droid. We're going to run IG-86, and then we're going to run the Jawa Engineer. Now, the synergy with the droids is phenomenal. Jawa Engineer gives all droids turn meter, which is excellent. And on top of that, the droids get 100% turn meter every time they get more than one critical hit. Because of the HK-47 leader, they get 50% turn meter on each critical hit. So crits are very important. Now, they get a ton of crit chance from the HK leader. Also, Jawa Engineer gives crit chance up whenever he uses Recalibrate to give all the droids turn meter in the first place. But let's go ahead and use Recalibrate here by Jawa Engineer. Now we're going to use an all-out attack, or an AoE, from General Grievous here, which is Grievous Wounds. We went over that ability earlier. Let's go ahead and do that. But take a look at General Grievous' turn meter. Now he has 100% turn meter again because he got more than one critical hit on that attack, so he'll get to go again. As soon as we get done with IG-86 here, let's go for Rey and try to take her out. Now we've activated the Royal Guard's Taunt. What I'm going to do, instead of making an attack on him, is I'm going to use Grievous' ability Sinister Laugh here, which has a 110% chance against Jedi. So we should see some turn meter reduction here from Anakin and Qui-Gon Jinn. Let's see what happens. They will also get health down. So we did get that accomplished. That's excellent. Now we're going to use another all-out attack here from HK-47, his Meatbag Mayhem. Hopefully that, nope, did not take out Rey. Okay, but B2 Super Battle Droid should finish the job on Rey here with this attack, his AoE, and he does. He also dispels Royal Guard's Taunt, so we can go ahead and start attacking Anakin Skywalker here, who has now gotten 100% turn meter, so I'm sure he's going to put a whooping on us. But let's throw a thermal detonator here on Royal Guard. Now I'm going to continue to go for Anakin again, because Anakin can get tons of turn meter every time you get another enemy into below 50% health, so you just want to get him off the board as quick as possible. That all-out attack that he does a lot of damage. Well, let's dispel these positive status effects. B2 is a beast, so if you're currently farming B2 out of Cantina since he's become available, that's definitely a good choice. He's got a lot of viability in Arena on many different comps, not just droid teams. All right, let's go ahead and try to see if we can take out or get a lot of damage done on Royal Guard here. Unfortunately, we called in B2 for the assist, but let's see if we can get another dispel here. Okay, so with B2's all-out attack, we did not dispel there. That was resisted, so that's unfortunate. But let's see if we can make it through here. Let's use another Meatbag Mayhem attack here. And again, just try to take out Royal Guard as quick as possible. Anakin's going to go again, but we should be able to finish Anakin here in short order. Excellent. 12k damage. Now let's go for Qui-Gon Jinn. Just get him off the table. Again, we're going to AoE here so nobody can get buffs. Again, Grievous is basic, 11k there on a basic. Let's use 86's call and assist here, 12k. $9k on a basic, and then 7k on a basic from 86. As you can see, this team has a ton of synergy with each other. They constantly get turn meter on critical hits. They also have such a high percentage of getting critical hits that they're constantly critting, so it's almost like 90% or above that they crit. So, I mean, there's just a lot of synergy with the droids. They get a lot of turn meter all around. B2 gets turn meter from any evaded attacks or attacks on his allies. So it's just a great team overall. The droid synergy is fantastic, and General Grievous is a great character and somebody that makes a lot of sense if you're working on a droid team for the future. If you're farming that droid team and you'd like to have the best droid team possible, I'd say Grievous should be a part of it. But again, he's a long farm, so it's going to take you some time. So if I could say there's a lot of people now, like I said, that are starting to get to that point where they may start farming Grievous, or they have already started. If that's the case, you know, like I said, this is what you're going to get. He's a great character, and if you put the right mods on him, he can definitely be viable in Arena. So if you guys like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, please leave us a comment in the comments section. Again, thank you very much for checking it out. If you guys have any questions or you'd like to discuss anything with me, you can always come over to the TeamSkunk Discord. Just go over to www.teamskunk.com and follow the instructions to our Discord. Come check me out. You can send me a private message there. But as always, I'll see you guys on the next one, and may the Force be with you.